All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Committee Podcast. I am Adolphus Savage, aka Love Killer Trey. I'm here with Chuck the Decoy and at Jalen Muhammad. We're gonna discuss and dissect a little bit of what we just seen as far as WrestleMania 34. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to introduce yourselves, starting with yourself, Mr. Jalen.
Hi.
All right, Jalen's a well-known affiliate of ours. He's been on plenty of episodes from the DBN report. Definitely follow our boys over there. And you can follow Jalen Muhammad. He always has up to date mock drafts, and he's a draft guru. So shout out to him. And of course, Mr. Decoy, explain to us a little bit about yourself, if you will.
Uh, Nothing to explain. I just ride with committee podcasts. Got a lot. They got a lot that I like to listen to. Actually, the only podcast that I listen to is committee podcast, but we got a lot of the same interests: music, sports, things of that nature.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you both coming on at such a late hour, especially for those who participated in the full 8 hours worth of wrestling that we
That was
just.
exhausting.
That was super long.
It's
I watched like
mentally
every
exhausting.
match. I
It
watched
sure
like
was.
every match.
And see, now I missed a couple hours. I'm not even gonna lie, like in the beginning, but I want to go ahead and kick it off with what we just saw. What are you guys' thoughts on?
I
To
don't
me,
like
what
it.
was it? What you didn't like it? And what I'm talking about is Brock Lesnar actually retained the Universal Championship when everybody and their mama knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. So, Jalen, you're saying you didn't like it. Why didn't you like it?
Uh, I just don't think like you can't have that. That's just. I know the fans don't really. Well, most of the fans don't really like what they do with Roman, like period. And I'm probably one of the only like Roman actual fans there are. As I think he does good work and his character is fine for what it is. But you can't just like have him go through all of that and make him look weak over and over and over again to put the belt back on somebody who won't be here in a couple weeks. Like that title basically has no prestige anymore because it gets defended every like 4 months.
All right. Now, I
Mm.
definitely understand that take on that one. I'm going to kick it over to Chuck the Decoy. I know you're also a Roman fan. In fact, your dog is named Roman. So, what are your thoughts on what we just seen?
Man,
If he's not a big dog, you have to rename it.
it's a Rottweiler.
It's a big
Definitely,
dog. Yeah.
definitely.
My thoughts are the same exact as Jalen. When I was talking to you before we started the podcast, it I pretty much said the exact same thing. You can't build this man up and tear him down, and then have him take kick out of what 5 F5s,
It was six. It was five before, including
and
one on the table, and then the sixth one. Yeah.
exactly have him kick out of that many F5s and try to make him look like he's a god, and then have this man go on to lose. If you're going to build somebody up and make them look that strong during the match, there's no reason for you to have that particular wrestler lose. They just did the same exact thing in a tag team match before with the Bludgeon Brothers, who I absolutely hate that shtick. It's terrible to me, but they make them look super strong and they build them up through the match. They go on to win the match. I personally thought the Usos should have won that match, but we're not talking about that one right
I'm
now.
so sick of
It's
them winning, and I love them. I just so sick of them winning
the
everything.
Usos. God, nah,
Yeah, I'm sick of them and the New Day winning everything, and I love both of them so much. It's just like I'm ready. Like you have so many talented tag teams on both divisions, and you just not doing anything with either of them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But back to the Roman thing. It's just like you can't have this man look so weak to a person who's not going to even, most likely not going to even be in WWE in the next 30 days. He's going to be dropping the belt soon, I think, regardless. So why not have him drop it to Roman Reigns, who the fans, honestly, if you ask the fans, most of them will probably say they like Roman Reigns. They just don't like the way that WWE tries to force him down the fans' throats. But that's not his fault. There's absolutely no reason that that man should ever be booed. He's one of the best in ring performers that they have at this point now, and his mic skills have gotten so much better. Actually, even over the last year, his mic skills have improved so
Ever since the
much.
John Cena promo.
It,
Yep,
exactly. That's
right.
exactly what I was going to go back to.
Well, I'm gonna just give my take on things. First, within the match, with the amount of F5s that were taken, it was a lower amount of suplexes. I know it was what 5 or 6 German, and it was at least 3 or 4 belly to
To the
belly.
yeah.
So with that amount of damage he took, getting busted up, things like that, I was like, okay, they're really going for this. Almost like the WrestleMania 13 Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret the Hitman Hart. Let him fight back, let him bleed out. He's gonna hit the big spots, he's gonna win. And it was like when he bursted out with those 2 spears and he was bloodied up, I was like, oh shoot, it made me really respect him.
Hmm.
I didn't like this turn. I mean, it was cool because it's unexpected, but with the amount of effort they went into putting in this match, go ahead and let the big dog overcome this one. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so what are we gonna have? I think the next one is Backlash. Are we gonna
Mm-hmm.
have
It's
Brock drop
backlash.
the belt at Backlash and disappear into the sunset? That doesn't even mean as much. So I think they should have just went ahead and pulled the belt off of Brock by any means necessary at this point. Now, Brock is going to be an all-time great, of course, because of his physique and all he's done. But it's enough is enough, man. I'm tired of belts being defended only at the big four events. We
Hmm.
see the champion every few months. It's just like, why? Like, go ahead and put it on Roman. I'm not the biggest Roman fan, but I'm not a Roman hater. I didn't like how he was forced down our throats at certain times, but I can admire the fact that the guy has really stepped it up over this past year. Like you said, since the John Cena promo, and he's put on a lot of great matches. And actually, me and Chuck the Decoy were texting earlier, and I was saying, this guy, he can sell moves just as good as a Dolph Ziggler, as a Ric Flair. Maybe not in that Shawn Michaels type of range, but he's like right there. As an in-ring performer, people they criticize him. Oh, five moves of doom. Every legendary wrestler has the same 5 moves of doom in the WWE. That's just a tried and true formula. So you can't even hold him accountable for that. He sells the merchandise. He's a cool dude. It's his time. It's time for the Roman Empire. So that's my general thoughts on that. Anybody have anything else they like to say as far as Roman Reigns is concerned?
No,
Nah,
I
I
agree
just hope
with
they
you.
stop messing. I hope they just stop uh messing with him. What I was hoping would happen was the rumor that was going around. Well, I guess we can debunk it since it's not happening. Was that they were gonna have him win, and then Brock was gonna, because Paul Heyman said that he was gonna disappear into the sunset if he lost, and he was gonna let Roman be a Paul Heyman guy basically, which would like help him go pseudo heel, which is like Brock is supposed to be a heel, but he's a baby face because everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were supposed to do, but since that's not happening, that I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was one of the things I wanted to have happen. Either that swerve, of course, you heard about the Bobby Lashley possibly interfering, or Samoa Joe or something like that. But they did this, and like I said, maybe it was like some of the things. I was thinking that this pay per view was going to be really predictable, and I'm gonna pull up the next reason why. When you had Charlotte Flair versus
That
Asuka,
match,
it was a great match.
that was a wonderful match.
I thought for sure the streak would continue, and they got me again. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, like,
I didn't like that one either, just because I thought they were gonna have to like build it up more. But if anybody was gonna lose it, if she was gonna lose it to anybody, it was gonna be Charlotte, because Charlotte's really fucking good.
yeah, she is. And I gained even more respect for Charlotte. She really put on a hell of a show. with some of those moves that she put in, some of those suplexes. I was like, dang. The only part I didn't like about the match was you have a person that, and the numbers may be wrong, so I'm just gonna say she was undefeated over 500 days in the
Mm-hmm.
WWE, in the NXT, and it seemed like a 10-minute match was just a cheap cop out for her. I mean, nobody else could beat her. We had the Raw's Women's Championship to where she's beat both of those, people that are fighting for that championship, ran through that side of the division. She comes to Charlotte. Charlotte slaps on that figure eight. She taps out. And it's just like, it cheapened the moment to me. What are y'all's thoughts on that match? Asuka versus Charlotte.
I pretty much had this. I agree with you. I really thought the match itself was awesome for the amount of time that we had it, but there's no way that if they were going to end the streak, that match shouldn't have been longer. They could have cut time from another match, or maybe even extended the show another 5 minutes. But
Oh no.
if well, I'm preferably cut time from another match. But there's no reason at all that they should have
Speaking on
they
that, I don't
shouldn't
think
have
you
gave
could
her a bigger
really.
moment.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. I don't think you can like really cut in like every other match that kind of needed that time.
Yeah, I really don't understand why the show went so long, because last year's WrestleMania, I want to say, ended maybe at like 10:45. I was there. I wasn't keeping track of
It ended
time.
around like 11:10, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured it was
Yeah.
like close to 11.
This one still
So,
lasts like an hour longer than the last one though. So
exactly an hour, an entire hour longer. And I want to say they probably had the same amount of matches. It seemed that way. It just, like I said, I wasn't completely sure because I was
I
there.
think the two battle royals is a bit much. That's a lot.
But that
oh,
was the
thank you for
pre-show. That was
segmenting.
the kick
Thank you for
show.
segueing into exactly what I wanted to talk about. But continue.
Oh, okay, well, go ahead and make your point on that one.
No,
Go ahead
no,
and make your point.
because I was just gonna be fanboying over Matt Hardy again. So just continue.
I thought
Well,
that was awesome, man.
yeah, it was.
I love him.
With Bray, oh my gosh, that faction can be good as long as Jeff Hardy joins.
It
It's gonna
definitely
be a
can
wonderful
be.
feud for like a clean 3 months because there's a whole bunch of moving parts in that. You can have Jeff Hardy trying to get back into the basically House Hardy by having a feud with Bray a little bit with Matt Hardy watching on helping either side.
Hmm.
There's a whole bunch they could do with that. But even if he just joins, like they become like a good faction like the New Day, and I'm not complaining about it because I love all three of them.
Yeah, all three of them are great in ring. Point blank period.
And actually, shout out to Matt Hardy for this guy. He consistently gets like what you would think would be shit to work with, and he makes it into gold. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, he's not the most athletic guy, but he constantly gets things and he excels at them. Like Matt Hardy is like a true star. Like I really, at first when they introduced the Woken side of things, it's WWE, I was like, wow, he's kind of dropping a lot of matches. It's not really clicking, but he won this Andre the Giant Memorial. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is gonna start clicking. Maybe we can start to see some things and it can open up. So I'm definitely excited for the future of Woken Matt Hardy.
If they did
And this
more
faction.
like title matches, like special title matches, like they did the Ultimate Deletion, then they would be a whole lot better. But they try to save those for pay per views, which is retarded. Because the Ultimate Deletion was probably my favorite thing I watched since the final deletion.
Oh yes. It was a very interesting match. And I know now it did kind of get like mixed reviews, but I think a lot of people that watch WWE sometimes are just WWE heads and they don't watch some of the other promotions and what goes on. So they kind of like, and I hate to bounce around, but like I've read like some people say, okay, well, I don't understand the why people like Nak or Nakamura, and it's like, okay, did you not watch him in New Japan or did you not follow his career and see why? Nah, he's just a weird guy that has a cool theme. And it's like, nah, sometimes you have to open up outside of that WWE universe, and you can see just how great some of these people are. Like, for instance, now somebody who's really balling, shout out to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was like, I mean, he was a decent Intercontinental champion, but outside of it, man, he's putting on a hell of a good shows. And it's good to see that
he's probably the best heel in the business right now. Like,
yeah.
period.
And he's just
allowed to do the moves.
Oh
he's
yeah,
allowed to do the moves.
And he's definitely, and I mean that's one issue that I sometimes have with the WWE, even though I do love it, and I've been watching it for probably over 25 years now. Is sometimes they do waste talent big time, and they waste opportunities, and like even with like I was thinking earlier while I was watching the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and I was like, dang, you know, I look over and I see how good AJ Styles is doing. And I understand Samoa Joe is injured. I'm like, dang, when he had his shot at Brock, why couldn't he beat Brock? Like, that would have been a great opportunity.
That was a Royal Rumble match, right?
Was it Royal Rumble last year?
I think it was Royal Rumble match.
Because it was, because I think Roman Reigns was sick or something like that, so they couldn't do a match or something. It was something like that.
Roman might have been suspended, right? Was that when he was suspended? Oh, okay.
There was something going on with him.
There was like a big flu because him and Bray were sick, and actually no, that was I think Royal Rumble was when Finn and AJ had a match because Bray was supposed to fight Demon Finn, and because he couldn't because he was sick, so AJ stepped in, and that match was really good too.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. A lot of them, they were sick with something.
The flu was going around the locker room really heavy at that time.
And I just hate that you'll have people that you know, like even Braun to me, and once again, you know, we're kind of bouncing around a little bit. Shout out to Braun. What he did with the 10-year-old was great. It was a great moment. Brock should have been, Braun should have been had a title run. Like, he was white hot.
Okay, we're gonna go back to that real quick, but I have something on my head that I was thinking about. And since we were talking about Shinsuke and like Matt, I think the only people besides Shinsuke, well, of course, besides Shinsuke, who has an entrance and the crowd loves, the only person who like consistently gets the crowd involved, like with his chant, is Matt and his delete chant. Because like when he did that after the thing, the entire arena was doing it like constantly. Mm-hmm. It was like loud. It was deafening.
Yeah, because people there, I mean, it's an easy chant. You know, it's something, and it's a cool character. It's a cool, quirky character. Like, definitely can't deny that. And I forgot what I was talking about before then. Braun. Braun and his
should have had a title run before now.
Should have had a title run before now. And I just think that sometimes the WWE, they miss the opportunity to elevate some of these stars, and then we kind of have like where this is Braun's first title, and it's like you couldn't put him on any other title like for the past 6 to 8 months or 12 months now. Like, geez Louise. But
to be fair, they did have to wait until Brock's contract right now because they're not doing anything to spite Braun right now for some reason. And they had him in a bunch of like feuds that like set up a bunch of stuff, but it didn't really go into anything. So yeah, they probably should have done more with him.
Yeah, they put him in a bunch of matches where he didn't have to take a pin to lose. He ended up losing anyway. So just
Raw really is really like set on their champions though, because like how many of them have really like changed hands over the past like 5 pay-per-views? Like the women's one changed once. Alexa kept everyone after that. The Universal one just didn't change at all. The Intercontinental Championship changed twice now, and this is the second time.
I'm kind of glad about that though.
Yeah,
I am glad
at least a full timer was defending the belt consistently, and I love the Miz's work in ring and on the mic.
Yeah. His in ring work isn't like the best, but he has extremely good mic skills, so that like kind of makes up for it.
And you know what? I sometimes wonder, and this was a topic that I was thinking about bringing up, and I'll bring it to light. But now we know Miz is a former WWE champion, and I understand it seemed a little fluky at the time, but I think he's earned the right to be a super high main event heel, like challenging for the title.
I would agree with you there, but like he kind of has the mid card. He's kind of has the mid card on lock. Like he's, I don't think he's gonna ever like stay a main carder. Like he'll get his push. He'll probably get another push before he retires. But like
Yeah.
being like he's probably one of the best mid carders that they have. Like along with like Dolph and like a couple other people. Like he's probably that guy. Like the Intercontinental title is his championship pretty much until he retires.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
what it
probably
is.
one of the best mid carders of all time as far as mic skills go and just being a consistent performer and always being there.
Yeah, you're right. And I guess the other thing is, I mean, he is constantly there and he is super entertaining. Like, I definitely cannot deny that. I mean, I know he's a heel, but he's like a super cool, obnoxious heel. Like, I wish his Miz Taraj had like a little bit more talent around it. Like, you have Bo Dallas, who, of course, is slop after such a great run in NXT. Curtis Axel, they tried to give the Intercontinental title, and he's
He
just,
was good, and then like I don't know what happened. Like something like it was just bad booking. It was like
yeah,
bad
Yeah.
booking for like
he's
both
just
of them.
done.
It was just retarded.
Well, Bo ruined his own chances because they were going to make him a part of the Wyatt family with his brother, but he supposedly he got into big trouble with Vince, and they took away that opportunity from him.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's like even like really hurting him because he got put into a faction anyway, and the Wyatt family disintegrated after Randy Orton burned shit down. So
Yeah, really did.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't even understand that. And speaking of Randy Orton, so I guess we'll go to another match. The Fatal Four Way was it? And we
that
got.
was, oh my god.
Oh my
I,
gosh!
I honestly, and I might be alone here, but I thought
Don't
that was
do
the
it! Don't do it!
worst match of the night.
Oh, I
I
thought
did.
you were
I thought
gonna. I thought you were gonna mark out for your boy.
no, I thought it was the worst match of the night. It seemed like it was really rushed.
It was
I mean,
really the worst match of the night. Like that's not even a
yeah.
question. It
And
was
not and
awful.
not to mention they're ruining Rusev right now and how over he is with the fans.
Dog, I put out a tweet. I was just like, because I was like making predictions on, and I think I ended like 5-3 or something on the night, but because my last one was a Roman loss, because I thought Oscar was gonna win. I called pretty much everything else, and that Roman one kind of ruined it. But that match was, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. Like
Trying to make
that, none of
Jinder
that
look
makes sense.
strong, I guess. I don't know
Why? Did
that
they tried this already and it didn't work?
it does. That's not the move, man. It is really not the move. That's
If
why
you
I
can't,
canceled my WWE subscription in the first place.
if you give him the main title and he doesn't do anything with it, what makes you think giving him a small title is gonna help him or anything? You're just ruining like people who are over like Bobby Roode and Rusev, especially Rusev.
Rusev is so over right now. It makes
Sure
no
is.
sense for them not to push him and make him champion again. That U.S. champion again. That is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
That
because
was the most ridiculous thing of the night to me.
I think Rusev has the type of talent and he has the look to where he could be elevated to a top tier heel on SmackDown. And you're right, it just seems like they're just pissing away. I mean, even if he's not a heel, like as a babyface, he's extremely over as well. But it's just like, it just seems like they've always wasted away Rusev
There's
for
too
no
many
reason.
heels. There's too many heels. Like that entire match was a match full of heels.
It sure
They
is.
have to.
Yeah, it
Heels
They
and
really
kind of.
tweeners,
is.
They
like,
kind of have. They kind of have to make him a face now. Like
Especially with Nakamura, uh, obviously
there's so
making
many
the
heels
heel
on fucking
switch,
SmackDown right now.
yeah, it
and
sure
and not
is.
enough on Raw anymore because it looks like the Miz is about to go on leave for a minute with the
Cause
newborn.
mm-hmm.
I don't understand why the Baylor Club isn't like the cool heel
Balor,
faction.
Balor.
Balor. Okay, I don't understand why they're
You didn't
not.
get it right.
I'll get it however I want to. The Balor
Wow.
Club. I don't see why they are like. That's a faction that just doesn't seem to get much play, or they don't even really get used like
That
that.
goes back to what I was saying about the tag team division. Because they like, you have what now? It's probably gonna be another one with the Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt thing. That's probably gonna get wasted. But you have the Revival, Balor Club, uh, um, fuck. And you have a whole bunch of like other like random teams that like I know you could like put together and be like good. And you're just not doing anything with them. Like you put them in like a 3-way match and then have them look weak just to like
Mm-hmm.
elevate the other team. Like how much sense does that make? Like everybody was excited when you finally put Finn and them back together. The crowd popped like crazy when his entrance hit, and then a week later they were back to being jobbers. Like
Yep. Anderson and Gallows can't win for losing right now.
He sure they sure can, and it's really sad. It's kind of like, to an extent, there's so much talent in there that they just don't even know what to do with some of the talent.
They don't know how to write the talent
They
in.
definitely.
That's the issue. There's a lot that they can do because this isn't the first time that WWE has had stacked tag team division. Like the Attitude Era in the '90s, it was really stacked, but they knew how to write it in, and they didn't have the best tag teams constantly losing over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, you are right. All right, so the next match that I definitely want to talk about, and this one was actually surprisingly good.
hold on, can we go like a little bit of order real quick? Can we go to the women's pre-show Royal Rumble? Talk about how much of a mess that was.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a
Then
mess.
like what was the point of it? You did all this building for Sasha versus Bailey just to have a 20-second spot of it. What?
But it actually surprised a lot of folks. It wasn't. It didn't end up being predictable.
I
And
kind
don't
of
get
could
me. I
tell. I just
love the
didn't
fact.
know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love the fact that Naomi won that. That especially after not. I talked to Adolphus Savage about this or Luckville Trey or whatever his name is these days. I talked. I talked to him about that before we went live, and they didn't even give her an opportunity to have her own entrance. They made her enter with everyone else. So for her to actually win it, that really really shocked me.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
I was shocked.
I think they were just. I think she was just there to. Because I think she was getting lost in the shuffle with all the Charlotte and Oscar stuff. Because they didn't have a challenger from SmackDown on there. They just had to do something to make sure people remembered them. I think they're doing Becky Lynch wrong as hell right now too. But
Hey, wasted talent. You're right.
Hmm.
Wasting away. Been waiting for this Bailey and Sasha thing forever, and
dog, because their matches in NXT were so
They
good.
were
Like
so good.
sure are. And to me, they've wasted Bailey. Honestly, like she's
they
a.
had Bailey good for like a month, and then completely ruined her by making her look like a bitch.
Gave her a little
Mhm.
title run. That's it.
And then she's just falling into the abyss. So the next thing I did want to talk about was going to be the McMahons versus Ronda and Angle. Match was surprisingly good to me. What were you guys'
That
thoughts on
was
that
that
one?
was my favorite match of the night because I only watched like half of the Intercontinental one. I'm pretty sure that one was good too.
It was.
But that was
It
my
was
favorite
really
match of
good.
the night because, yeah, I'd imagine they're really good workers. But that Ronda Kurt versus McMahon's one was really fucking good.
Yeah, it sure was. And I was actually thinking that it wouldn't be good because of McMahon, because of Stephanie.
I thought it wouldn't
And,
be good because of Ronda because I thought
yeah,
she would botch like a couple things to ruin everything, but she did extremely well.
yeah, she really did. She
She
got me kind of hyped with her moves.
shocked the hell out of me. That's for sure. I didn't expect that at all. Like she came out of there like a bat out of hell, bro.
Sure did. Lots of energy. I mean, I was excited for the match, and I'm excited to see if she can grow this fast in that short of amount of time. I can only imagine what she'll do going forward with more opportunity and more training. I kind of hope that what they do with her is ease her in and maybe not have her on, like she could be on the show weekly, but not wrestling weekly. And that way, she will be good to go when it's that time. But she is definitely badass. And
Yeah. Don't try to force the
Angle,
belt on her too fast.
oh yeah, definitely not. Angle, I mean, Angle is Angle. He looks kind of weird now. Like he's lost a lot of weight. He doesn't look as strong, but and of course
I,
Triple H, boom. But it
yeah.
was a really good match.
Trips will always be fit. I'm not.
Yeah, I thought both of them look great as far as physique goes. That, like you said, Kurt Angle did lose some weight, but his physique still looks awesome to be as old as he is, and he's still a pretty good performer in ring for his age too.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. So beyond that, I don't really have too many notes as far as that match. That was one that I predicted that Ronda and Angle would win, and they definitely went over on that one. Beyond that, I mean, we did have the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. I know Jalen said he only watched about half. It was definitely a great match.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot going on in the match. I was very happy that Seth Rollins, who is my favorite wrestler currently, I was happy that he did get the win. I mean, he has just been on fire. I think the only reason that he doesn't get like a higher end push is because, you know, the injury concerns.
The injuries.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if it wasn't for that, man, he puts on great matches all the time. Big time moves. Love that they finally re-unleashed the curb stomp again.
I was going to make that point. I'm glad he begged whoever he had to beg to let him be able to use that move again, because that's one of my favorite things about Seth Rollins is the fact that he's able to do that curb stomp.
I'm gonna need them to actually give him its name back. It's the Blackout. So once they do that, then I'll officially realize it's there. But until then, it's a nice re-addition to his arsenal.
Oh yes, exactly. But you know they'll never call it the Blackout. It'll be the curb stomp.
The stomp. As long as it's not the knee, then I'll be fine.
Oh yeah, because it's quite a few wrestlers with the knee. So yeah.
Oh, you know what I just realized thinking about Seth Rollins?
What's that?
Jason Jordan.
That guy is no.
Oh, you know what? I forgot all about him.
I seen him at the Hall of Fame on Friday, and that was the first time that I've seen him in quite some time.
Wow.
Yeah, actually. That's probably gonna be the next feud while Miz is away.
Milk carton, Jason.
But I wonder he still should have some time before he comes back, though, right?
I don't know. It's been about a couple months now. So.
Oh, he's injured? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Had like a leg injury, I believe.
Oh, I missed that.
Neck injury.
It was a neck injury? Okay.
Like his father in quotation marks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's crazy? If you kind of squint your eyes a little bit, they do look alike.
They kind of look alike.
Yeah, exactly. They do look alike. It can pass, yeah. You know what? I completely forgot about Jason Jordan. That is crazy.
Wow. I remember the knee, and then I remember that's how they won the fucking title in the first place. And then just to lose the shit 2 weeks later.
Another bad decision.
Yeah, it definitely was. But hey, we got what is it? What is it called? Not a triple crown, but he's another person that's won all the belts. Grand Slam champion, yes.
Yep.
So it's crazy that all of the people in the Shield have one, and it's crazier that Seth was the last one to do it.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
I think Dean won it first, and then Roman, and then Seth, which is wild.
It is, because it doesn't seem like Dean gets much respect at all. But I mean,
I miss Dean. I miss him, bro.
I love Dean.
Get well soon. He's getting cleared over the next couple weeks or so.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. He'll be cleared soon. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
My brother Nero reappearance.
Oh yeah, he'll be back soon, of course, and then it's going to get really interesting. The next match, and these are of course not in particular order, but what do you guys think about Shane, Daniel, Kevin Owens, of course, and Sami Zayn's match? I thought it was pretty cool how they did the sneak attack, but what were you guys' thoughts on that match?
Yes.
I agree, man.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was so hyped. Like, man, I was so happy to have Daniel Bryan back after all these years, and just the way they did it, and they had the montage, and they showed some of the recaps of just how he affected so many different peoples. I mean, you had people in college football and hockey, and people at weddings, and people at schools, and everybody was doing the yes chants back in the day, and just for him to finally be back, like I'm like, dang man, this is a good feeling. But yeah, definitely. What are you guys' thoughts?
I
I don't
thought the
appreciate them
montage.
hacking Vanguard One's operating system just to get that promo out, but
Oh yeah.
I thought the montage was fire, and then the match. That guy, man. Oh my gosh, he knows how to perform. And I told you earlier while we were watching the event, my exact words. Damn, I miss Daniel Bryan these last couple of years because
Oh yeah.
that dude, man, he knows how to work a crowd. That guy can really work a crowd, and his like this dude's move arsenal. Even though it seems like it's the same, that shit never gets old, man. It never gets old.
And to me, being a longtime WWE fan, anybody that really gets the crowd into it, it makes the matches that much more epic. Like whenever the crowd is into it and it's a lot of drama or near falls or big time moves like that, like all the greatest matches, that's what they have. Like I even just thinking back to just back in the days, all the big matches, the crowds were really in it. So he's a guy that can get the crowd in it. I don't know how he does it. I mean, like you said, his move set's kind of I know he could do a lot of moves, but the moves that he does, I mean, he does them quite often. He has, his 5 moves of doom when it's time for that sequence, but he definitely gets everybody hyped with the things that he's able to do in the ring. And then honestly, it's an incredible story about dedication, perseverance, and living out your dreams. Like I cannot wait. And I don't know if they'll do it, but if they ever put the title back on him, I'd probably mark out for real because it just be like, dang, man, he struggled so hard to get cleared,
Mm-hmm.
and just to finally be back is like awesome.
And I was
if they do
honestly,
that, but don't give Finn the title back, then I might have a word with some creative
yeah,
writers.
they're not gonna have him go over Brock right now, even though he should have. But I was super convinced that Shane or Daniel were going to make a heel turn. Even if Daniel Bryan would have made a heel turn, it wouldn't have mattered because he's so over with
He's
the
over.
crowd.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Sure.
They'll never that guy will never get booed ever.
He sure won't. It was an incredible match. One thing that I will say, for Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn is, man, they are such good heels. Like they were great in the indies, and they are really an asset to the company just with some of the things that they can do and some of the spots that they're able to do, and they work so well together. Like I didn't think they would be as good as they are against each other, but man, they really make you just dislike them, like
They really
goodness
Yep.
do.
gracious.
Yep.
Yep.
Like when they
definitely
did the
do.
sneak attack at this event, I was like, man, fuck Kevin Owens. When he did the power bomb on Daniel Bryan, I was like, man, this is bullshit. I want to see him fight. Man, I was like
And
really
the
upset.
funny thing was that like I liked it because of the story he told, but in my head I was like, this nigga Daniel Bryan is legit about to come save somebody, and then like win the match, and I called it.
Yeah, he sure did.
It wasn't really hard to call, but
Yeah, that was one that I definitely predicted, and I'm gonna segue into the next match, which, like I said, no particular order, but this one was sort of predictable, but they did wait to the last possible minute. And that's gonna be the legend, the phenom, the Undertaker, and of course John Cena. I kind of like the fact that it was quicker. Maybe it preserved the Undertaker. Maybe after that hip surgery last year, he can't go as long. I was really shocked that he beat John Cena in 3 minutes.
He
Like,
can ruin John Cena, bro.
and I'm just like, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Like this John Cena, and I understand he gets a lot of that
he's the
Roman
goat.
Reigns stuff too. Yeah,
He's the goat.
I'm not gonna call him the GOAT, but he is one of the GOATs.
One of the
16-time champion. Why would you do him like that at WrestleMania? Like, what the hell's going on?
Well, one, you kind of had to bury him because he's not going to really be around for the next like 5 or 6 months because he was sporting some nagging injuries recently, and they kind of have to prepare him for his last hoorah run where he beats Ric Flair's championship record.
Yeah, he's got that one run, and but I still don't get why you make him look so weak before doing that.
Oh,
But
because you let Roman beat Undertaker and then Brock beat him the year before
that's
that.
that's what I
You
think it
need
was
to
more about.
you need to preserve that WrestleMania legacy because having him lose it 2 years in a row just ruins it.
Exactly. I think it was more about making the Undertaker look strong than making John Cena look weak. They
But
John Cena
that's
will
really
never look weak. Like it's
yeah,
not possible.
he looked weak today.
yeah.
He
It
looked
was
weak
I mean, I
today.
bad.
would even say that because he got like he predictably got a little bit of offense in. He got like his one thing, and he got suffered by a spot. The fact that he allowed Undertaker to even do like his classic moves was just more respect for him from me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. My thing with the whole thing, I don't understand, and maybe it's because now I did take a nice little break during like the back half of the ruthless aggression era, so I really didn't get to see a lot of John Cena become what he's become today. But when I started to tune back in, like they were like criticizing him heavy. And I'd see this guy like in some matches pull out all the stops, do stuff that I'm like, what in the world? Like a guy his size doing these moves. And whenever I think of consistent 5-star matches, even though some people say, oh, well, he was carried, like Bruce Blitz, who loves to hate on him. And it's just like John Cena, if you want to talk about commitment to the game, I mean, he shows up there, he works his butt off, he got himself over. He's actually
Hmm.
kind of cool. And it's just like, I'm ready for him to break this record now. I think I really am ready to go ahead and give him the record, one last lengthy title run, and then let him ride off to the sunset as a part timer or just be gone for good. But I think for what he's done for the business, he deserves one more nice run.
Yeah, he
Every
carried the
title the
business.
guy champ, every time, like even with remember the open challenge for the US title, like he
Hmm.
elevated that. Rusev did a great job too. When he took it from Rusev, he took it to another level. And it's like I like where it's at now with, I feel like they got top end guys other than gender fighting for it. But
Man, don't even mention his name.
Yeah,
I
that
just
yeah, that name should not be said, bro. I hate that
definitely
guy.
we will omit that name from this podcast. But definitely I can't wait to see John Cena get his just due, get that 17th title run. I mean, I guess if he was doing that to kind of, one last hurrah for the Undertaker, then that's cool. That he has enough wins that he can, of course, spare one like that. But I was actually thinking during the match, like I remember being a kid watching wrestling. Like the Undertaker was one of the first wrestlers like I could remember identifying with. Like it was him, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan. Like those were like the big guys in the late 80s, early 90s. And it's like for this guy to still be around and still be relevant is like truly a testament to himself. But it's actually going to be sad when he's finally done. Like when they finally induct him, and it's just going to be like, dang, that's a part of my childhood that's just over. Like Taker, even though it's a weird character, has just been there for so long. Like, what are y'all's thoughts on the Undertaker?
my like lasting Undertaker memory was which is weird because it was one of my saddest moments in WWE was when I think it was an 8-man tag. I think it was more than that where it was like Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, I think, and DX versus like CM Punk and the whoever the hell they were feuding with back then. Like the match before the pay per view before John Cena. I mean not John Cena. Jeff Hardy lost his like championship to CM Punk,
Mm-hmm.
and Undertaker like cleared out house and like Jeff Hardy like finished with a Swanton bomb or something like that. And I will never forget that moment because what followed after it. made me a little sad. But like he's obviously a legend. Like he has really good matches like that. WrestleMania, the first one against Shawn Michaels was so good.
Oh yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
extremely good.
they ruined it the
And
next year, but that
and
first
then they
one was
yeah, and then they
awesome.
ruined it the next one, but the first one was amazing. So like he's obviously when he does get into that, I'm not gonna really be sad because I'm just like at this point they're beating a dead horse by keep putting him in matches. So I'm just like let the man live. I'll be happy for him.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if he feels like he owes Vince McMahon something by keep doing these matches at WrestleMania, especially coming off of that hip surgery that he had last year. I'm more like I'm kind of disappointed because I was at WrestleMania last year, and to everyone there, it was like Rome. It was Undertaker's last match, and the way he went out, even though he lost the match, I thought the way he went out and left that ring and left his stuff in the ring, I thought that shit was epic. I thought that was like the
That would have been the
best.
best send off ever.
I thought exactly. I thought it was the
Yeah.
best retirement moment in WWE history, even more so than Flair and Michaels and all of that. But
Yeah, because even with Flair and Michaels, Flair still came out the next day and they did the little ceremony and all that. But
yeah,
yeah.
and I just thought they ruined it because if this is his last match, he didn't have a proper send off. Even though he won his last match, generally most of the legends they go out losing their last match. They take a fall in their last match. So I don't know. I'm convinced right now that he's probably going to do one more and then call it quits because it just didn't. And probably one more with John Cena and then call it quits. And it just didn't seem like this is a match to ride off in a sunset to.
I definitely agree. So,
They should put the belt back on Taker, just to have him pull have him pull him a Brock Lesnar and compete
Yeah,
every
go
couple of months,
Goldberg style, like put
oh
it on
yeah.
him for a month or a
and
month
then
and a
have John
half or
Cena beat
whatever.
the title off of that. So he can retire. John Cena gets the belt and beats the record. Taker can retire in peace with John Cena giving him props or whatever. Be
Yeah,
wonderful end to WrestleMania, but no.
in NYC next year.
Oh yeah. So I got one last thing. Um, I just want to know. This is just a simple question. So, of course, this is the committee podcast. First time really getting into the wrestling side of things, the wrestling market. I would like to know you guys' favorite all-time wrestler. Just like your number one guy.
I'm gonna let you guess.
I'm gonna probably get it wrong. So,
Just guess.
okay, let me ask you this. And if I'm guessing, which era was it in? Like, is
I'm
it
letting you know this right now. I'm 19. Okay,
That's what I was gonna
so
ask. I was gonna say what
yeah,
is his age? It
I'm
depends on
19.
his
So
age.
go ahead and guess.
well based off your Twitter
No, no,
name?
no, 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 no. Just
Okay.
guess.
Oh, I'm go with Edge.
Okay. Anybody? You want to guess too? I'm not gonna
I'm
say
gonna
if you're
say
right
I'm
or
gonna
wrong.
say John Cena.
Neither. Jeff Hardy.
Oh,
I was
Jeff.
gonna say Jeff.
Whoa,
Well, no, I was gonna say Matt, but my
19 and
cousin,
Jeff. Wow.
my cousin really liked Jeff a lot. Like he was really into Jeff, and Jeff was WWE. Jeff was a hell of a performer.
When he lost that cage match, I think it was to CM Punk. I legit cried for like
That
20
was some
seconds.
bullshit too. Like that
I legit
actually
cried for like
made
20
me
seconds.
hate CM Punk when he did that. Like I was like, come
Which
on.
was good, but it made me cry. I was that mad. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Wow. So Jeff Hardy, yeah, I
Yeah,
know a few
that's
people that, believe it or not, like he's within their top three or their number one. Like when it was his time to shine, like he had a lot of fans, man. He had and he'd always put his
Charismatic
body.
enigma.
He sure was, and he put his body on the line, man. They had some of the greatest tag team matches of all time. So much respect to that hot take. Mr.
My
Chuck the
top three are
Decoy.
like
Oh, okay, what?
Edge is in my top three. It's like Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, then Edge. So you were
Okay.
close.
All right, hey, that was lucky, but so Chuck the Decoy, what's your favorite? And then you give us a top three.
What?
Okay,
That went over your
that's your
head, didn't it?
that
That went
didn't
over
go
your
over my
head, didn't
head,
it?
but
Who is it? Who is it?
that's SCSA.
Okay, but in all honesty, being serious, even though I do pick Stone Cold, uh, I really separate them by era, uh, and then of course organization is WCW. I watched both faithfully growing up. Um, my first favorite wrestler was Bret Hart, and then during the Attitude Era, Stone Cold, and then I pretty much got away from wrestling for about a 5 year period. So the CM Punk era, I missed that completely.
Yeah, I caught the end of that one.
I missed it completely. And then when I came back, is uh, pretty much John Cena was running things, and he was carrying WWE because that that program would have kind of, I think it would have probably been a mess if it wasn't for John Cena. That's why I can never understand how anybody could ever boo that guy, because he carried that on his back, especially once CM Punk uh, left, got fired, retired, or whatever they want to say
Oh
he
no, he
did.
definitely got fired.
He definitely
Oh,
got fired
on his wedding day. Yep.
on his wedding day, and then had his wife still in the business, in the company for what, another 2 years, something like that.
Yes.
After that was ridiculous, but whatever. But yeah, Stone Cold during the Attitude Era, uh, Bret Hart pre Attitude Era. Like I said, I had that time off, and um, then I would say probably Cena, just because of what he did for the company. And then I'm gonna give a shout out to Edge, because Edge was my guy for a hot little minute too.
Oh yeah. With that, when he was at
Edge was like a guilty pleasure one because I hated him so much, but like I respected everything he did. Like he was so annoying. Like with all the feuds he did with all of my like favorite people. Like there was a stick where I was like a really big like John Cena fan. And he always beat him, and then like I was a Jeff Hardy fan for most of those times. And he just fucking beat him like twice. I was like, bruh, come on,
yeah.
can you just fucking lose?
That reminds you of somebody now. He's not as good in the ring, but that's the Miz now. He will aggravate the hell out of you, but you gotta respect him.
See, the Miz doesn't really aggravate me though, because I like he's funny. But Edge was just like an asshole. Like this shit was annoying as fuck.
That was funny to me though.
All right, so last up is me. Um, dang, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all guess. So his name has been mentioned
Oh dang,
as
yeah, that's very.
another person's in another person's favorites.
Yawn.
And
HBK,
damn, how did y'all know that?
because HBK is going to be at the top of everybody's list, bro.
Yeah,
He's up there with everybody.
yeah, HBK like coming up because like you have the click. I liked Razor Ramon. I liked Diesel back in the day, but I mean he just used to put on amazing matches. And I
But
remember like the Hell in a Cell with the Undertaker and just so many great performances. I hate that he had that back injury and his career was cut short, but in the middle, in his prime. But HBK was something serious. After that would be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And third would be Brock.
Ew.
I
bro,
like Brock, man. I don't know why. It's like I
bro,
love that carnage, man.
bro,
Yes.
come on, man. I
I
would never.
love I
I
love
don't
the
think he's in my
carnage.
top 50.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous. Brock and that carnage, man. I love like Brock and Goldberg, like even with Goldberg and that streak. And I know Jalen, maybe you went back and looked at it, but man, that streak was something crazy back in the day. I mean, I know it wasn't really like 173 and 0, but it was probably at least 100 and 0. And it was like he was just whipping everybody. And I like that. Like I like when you have a dominant champion. like an unquestioned guy. So yeah, those two, Stone Cold's like right there, and I think like a lot with Stone Cold has kind of faded back because with the injuries, he wasn't that great of a wrestler per se. But I love the attitude. The Rock was cool too. But yeah, Shawn Michael and Bret the Hitman Hart, they're 1 and 2 by far.
And they put everybody over, so that could have a lot to do with it. Them dudes, man, they really knew how to put on a match, and they actually had some of the greatest matches
And
of their own.
I was so pissed off with freaking Goldberg for ending Bret Hart's career with that kick. I was like, golly, man. But
Yeah,
you know,
which
okay,
shit happens.
it definitely does. So anyway,
I'm over here thinking of like moments of all these people in the one, and I just like keep thinking of Jeff Hardy one of all his crazy ass like WrestleMania spots for him jumping off of shit.
Oh gosh.
He was a fucking maniac, and I love it.
yeah, man, he has a wide skill set. Man, that swanton is a thing of beauty, like off ladders, all kind of stuff, man.
Now, I
And
legit sat in my room a couple of days ago watching his Whisper in the Wind, like fucking a compilation of that shit, and how
mhm.
like clean it was all the time. Like the one he did against I think it was who was the wrestler that died?
Owen.
The
Oh,
Samoan one.
Umaga,
Yes, him.
yeah, my
The one
God.
he did against him off the cage or whatever to win the fucking to win was fucking insane. Or
hey,
his
but
his leg drop over through two ladders against Edge and Christian or whatever. Oh my god, he's a maniac.
he had some amazing stuff, man. That's why, even though I know he has the issues that he has, that's why I'm still like I root for the guy. Like I'm like, man, I hope he gets it right and earns a prominent position because
He's been really like I love how Matt Hardy did it in TNA with that angle they did. But he's been pretty clean for like 7 years until like his most recent arrest, and it was just because they were like filming something for the Ultimate Deletion. But he's been like clean for like a really long time now. But the way they did it with TNA, if anybody hasn't seen it, was they made Matt Hardy he was a heel at the time. Go figure. And they were saying he was going to give Jeff Hardy because he was a face, and he was like basically saying he knows that Jeff has like addictions to a whole bunch of like random stuff that he needs to cleanse or whatever. So he was gonna make sure that he never did that shit again. Basically, like, and then the funny shit was they did like a ladder match or something, and Matt refused to like go up a ladder to win it, or whatever. But Jeff was like jumping off of shit, and Matt moved one time and told him he had an addiction to being a spot monkey.
wow.
so, so he basically he fucking banned him from like when the stipulation was he would have to join him if he beat him. So of course Matt won, and he was just like if I win, you're just banned from jumping off of things. Like you can't even do your finisher unless I tell you to. So like what? So he was
Wow.
just like so he would like every time he was about to like do the twist of fate and go to the top of the ladder, he'd just push him off or whatever, and then tag himself in and do the twist of fate and win, and like he take all the glory because that's how the heel works. And then they slowly started switching over when Abyss and them came over, and it was like a match where he did a twist of fate, and then he literally grabbed the mic from the ringside and was like, "Brother Nero, indulge in your addiction," and he like jumped over like two ladders for the swanton. It was elite. I was like, yo, let's go. It was like 3 weeks worth of payoff, and it was so worth it.
See, now I'm about to go to YouTube after this YouTube, and I
Bruh,
mean after this,
there's a
and
whole playlist like telling you all the like ultimate deletion stuff, and if anybody hasn't seen it, Google that and watch it because I recommend it. It is so fun.
I'm gonna definitely do that after this podcast. And just kind of check it out because it's some stuff from TNA that I didn't really catch all the time. So I know
Yeah,
I'll
'cause
definitely,
that program is a train wreck most of the time.
yeah, it definitely is. Does it even still come on? Does anybody know?
Yeah, it does.
Oh shoot,
They have
man.
they basically have John Morrison over there. Austin Aries went back. Uh, Bobby Lashley just left basically. Evan Bourne is over there. Alberto Del Rio got fired because he didn't show up for one of his matches.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio is out of control.
I,
I
They have a
don't know
lot of
what that
old
guy's problem
WWE people
is.
there.
I don't know what his issue is either, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Any closing thoughts and shout outs?
Tomorrow's gonna be interesting as hell.
Tomorrow and Tuesday.
I don't care about SmackDown to be honest. She's retarded.
I do now that Knack is supposed to be a heel, but we'll see how that goes. Um, Shout out to Braun for that spot, especially if it was for what I think it was for.
Oh yeah, make a wish. And Jalen, any closing thoughts?
Nah, not really. I've said everything I said what I said.
Well, hey y'all, as y'all know, this is the committee podcast. Of course, I am. Damn, I forgot my name real quick because I got so many.
Wow,
So
how do you
many,
forget your
so
name?
many.
No,
Got too
because I'm
many
so used now. I'm so used to the damn PSN thing. I was about to say my name's Ice Cold AC. No, my name is Love Killer Trey, and I represent the
Despicable.
New Day. Bootios in the house. Go on and check
New
it out.
Day.
They make sure you're not booty. All right, they make sure you're not booty. Respect the bootios.
Hey, you're right about that. Well, anyway, we're gonna close out, and y'all have a wonderful. Actually, you know what? I can't wait for tomorrow because the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is
That's what I was
always
talking
lit.
about. That's what I was talking
Yes.
about.
So I will be in attendance. I hope we get an interesting swerve, heel turns, and a big return. Anyway, this
I
is
just want
committee.
something interesting to happen with Matt Hardy, but
Yeah, we'll see going forward with him. I hope it's not like a tag team deal. I hope it's something a little different. Like it leads to like another program with someone else and him and Bray instead of just okay, we'll hop into the tag team market against Braun and Nicholas.
all right. See, I don't even think. Okay, we'll have to talk about this another time, but I don't even think Braun's gonna keep that shit for too long because they're gonna either make him get another tag team partner, or they're going to like make him lose in the most dumbest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can't see him keeping it too long. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap on that note. This is the committee podcast. I thank you both for coming in. I finally got Chuck the Decoy on. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And thank you.